to another installment of Live at Evo. I am your host, Jerry Mayer Judson, and I am joined by Scott, Elaine, and Isaac from the Evan Williams Project. What's up, guys? How are ya?
Good,
Hello.
good to be here.
Good, yeah, no, we're thrilled to have you. So, okay, the people, and by the people I mean me, wish to know, who is Evan Williams and how came you by this name?
Okay, so I'll try and truncate the story as best as I can. So what happened was when I started considering that I was going to make music, which was back in 2015, I wanted to sign up for SoundCloud because everyone was like, oh, you got to get SoundCloud. That's where you put all your stuff. And so I signed up with my email address and said, oh, this email's already in use. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for SoundCloud before. What's that all about? So I went through the recovery process and I get in there and just some guy named Evan Williams used my email to sign up for his own SoundCloud account. And because I had just done the recovery process, I couldn't change the name for 30 days, but I was just like, I'll keep it. But afterwards I started getting emails for this guy from like the foreman at his job. He works in Alberta on like an oil field somewhere, and just every once in a while I'll get an email from his foreman going like, all right team, like we're gonna up the production this week, and I have to keep emailing him back going like, dude, this is not Evan's email, please stop. You need to get his real email address.
Oh my god, that's absolutely hilarious. So like did you have like a first name, last name email address? Like
last name, first name ish. Yeah.
So it was
I don't want to like
Williams.
dox myself on
God,
air.
No.
But yeah.
But like it was very much tied to like that's your email address.
Yeah.
And some dude named Evan Williams, who is, and I say this with love, is an Albertan, a rig pig.
Yeah.
Just up.
Yeah, 100.
You said it, not me.
It's fine, I'm allowed to.
What if I listen to this right now?
Oh my god. Hey Evan, what's up?
How you doing?
Thank you so much. You don't even know what you've done. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Thank you so much. And you've come prepared with a cover for us, yes?
Yes, we have.
Tell me, what is the cover and why did you choose this one?
We're bringing Give Me Sympathy, which is our favorite Metric song. Just recently, we went on a road trip up to Dawson Creek for our grandmother's memorial service, and this song was on the playlist, and every single time it came on, we would all sing it in the car along to the song. And it's a wonderful song, one of our faves. So,
What a lovely story. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Get hot, get too close to the flame. Wild open space, talk like an open book. Sign me up, got no time to take a picture. I'll remember someday all the chances we took. So close to something better left unknown. We're so close to something better left unknown. I can feel it in my bones. Give me sympathy after all of this is gone. Who'd you rather be? The Beatles or the Rolling Stones? Oh, seriously, we're gonna make mistakes around. Come on, baby, play me something like Here Comes the Sun. Come on, baby, play me something like Here Comes the Sun. Don't go, stay with the unknown. Stay away from the hooks. All the chances we took. We're so close to something better left unknown. We're so close to something better left unknown. I can feel it in my bones. Give me sympathy after all of this is gone. Who'd you rather be? The Beatles or the Rolling Stones? Oh, seriously, we're gonna make mistakes here.
guys. Oh, that was so cool. We are live at Evo with the Evan Williams Project. So, y'all started sort of as a solo moment, and you've been slowly taking members aboard the last few years. So take me aboard, take me through the kind of story there.
Yeah, so I was doing it by myself. I was going to theater school back in 2014 to 2016, and I don't know, there was something about it that really was ticking the box for me of like, I'm here to do theater, but I'm realizing that what I actually really want to do is music. So it worked out, I suppose. But I just started like messing around at home. I don't have any experience doing, or I didn't have any experience doing audio stuff at the time. It was just things that I had picked up here and there. So I was just looking up YouTube tutorials for things and like,
no kidding.
Finding myself a cheap DAW and a whole bunch of free plugins and just throwing things at the wall and honestly making some of the worst music possible.
Experimental.
Exactly. But like I knew I wanted to do like a hard rock heavy metal thing because it's just that's the kind of stuff I grew up listening to. And so from the period of like 2015 to 2019 or so, I was just doing it by myself, and I put out one really awful EP and then an all right first album and then a slightly more all right second album, and at that point I was already getting really discouraged. So I was like, I keep putting everything into this, but then I became unemployed for a very long period of time due to reasons I won't get into, and I just spent that time just going like, okay, I'm just gonna write stuff. Like I'm just gonna work on this really hard. I'm gonna figure this stuff out. And so then I put out another EP by myself, and that actually got a little bit of traction with like friends and family. I'm like, okay, all right. So then I did another longer one, and that's like a little bit more. And then Elaine just messaged me out of the blue in like March of last year or something, just going like, so am I going to be drumming for you or what?
Yep. That's pretty much how it went.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah, I really liked it. I was excited. I'm like, we should probably be playing this for real human beings. They need to hear it, being the proud big sister that I am.
Yeah. And of course, once she jumped on board, that's when we started actually booking gigs. So it's like
it's weird just by yourself.
I know, it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
And then once we started, we played I think 2 or 3 shows together, just live stream shows, and then we got a live gig. And Isaac and I have been friends for years, a decade at the very least. Yeah,
like half my life. I think.
And I've always been pestering him. I'm like, so you gonna play keys for us? Is that what you're gonna do? It's kind of like,
yeah. And I hadn't bought a keyboard before. I started like classical piano. I brought up in that tradition, and at some point I just said, I'm gonna spend however much money it takes to get whatever keyboard like floats my boat. And I picked up this, and I think like the week after he messaged me, and it was like, so you're playing keys for us or what?
That's how we get the new members on board. So are you doing this or what?
You should know already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're growing. I'm trying to get another friend of mine to play bass for us, but it's a process. So
it's a process. That's so cool. I like that it's gradually getting together, and then you find someone that fits. That's like super rad and heartwarming. I like that a lot.
Give it a year and there'll be like a dozen people in the project.
It'll be very polyphonic spree.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, mostly I just grab the people closest to me because I don't want to be posting an ad on Craigslist.
Oh,
because who knows what kind of weirdo is going to show up? It's like, play bass for me, and next thing you know, you're in a dumpster somewhere. So
my bass is just outside. Actually, come on.
It's just in this white van.
Just help me get it out of this car.
This amp, though, I need help.
Yeah.
I need help, actually. No, yeah, for sure.
Sounds the lamps.
And then, how would you guys, because it's difficult to find a genre, like, how would you guys classify your sound? Would you say, like, if you could use any, you can use like 25 words if you want to.
I settled on heavy rock. That's about it, because the first EP I did was like more hard rock oriented, and then the second thing I did was a little like, it even had some like gent elements in it, so that was like a metal thing, and we just play it all together. So I was like, okay, we'll do heavy rock, but then we have an album that I'm working on right now that is just straight like indie dreamscape thing. Which I guess we can talk about later, because we're going to be playing a song from that new album right now. It's not been released yet. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But speaking of playing songs, what a segue! Let's do that second song that you brought for us. Do you want to introduce it a little bit?
Yeah, sure thing. This song is called Sets.
Cool. Let's get into it.
Oh, that's too fast. Still too fast. I wrote this down somewhere and I forgot it. There it is. As the sun sets down, the sun sets far away from me. Grays and green are the colors that remain from all the ones I used to see. And this effervescent age cannot supply an answer to the ones who question why, and no longer have a home to come to. Hopes and dreams are the first to be contained and cast aside so recklessly. Snow fields we used to play and set our captive spirits free. Whoa. And the disconnected kings remain inside, content to know the streets are occupied, and we set ourselves alight to warm you.
Whoa, it's so cool to have such like a fun arrangement. I'm just in here jamming.
That's what I like to hear. That means I've done my job properly.
Yeah.
100%. I'm having the best time. Then I remember that I'm supposed to be monitoring. So we are live at Evo with the Evan Williams Project. I have a tough one in the interest of getting to know the three of you better. What is your like desert island album pick? Or I'll make it easier, discography pick. So only you wash up and you have your Victrola, and then you can have one suitcase.
How many do we get?
I'm already out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Victrola, I'm already out of this conversation.
Yeah.
Don't get me anywhere near that.
You have your record player of choice over your Walkman. However you decide to consume the music, you can have like ideally, what's like the first one that pops into your head? Though there may be a million, but like was there one discography that you would need?
The first
What?
one that popped into... Do you want to go ahead?
No, go
Isaac?
for it.
Oh, okay. I had like an immediate one, and that was Continuum. John Mayer.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what it is about that album, dude, but like... it does something to me, and it still does. From like the time I listened to it in my teen years to now at 31 years old, I'm like, what the heck? It's just
He's an amazing songwriter.
That
and
man.
guitar player.
Oh, guitar
he's,
player, yeah.
Fantastic.
That
boy.
man, yeah.
that whole package of he's unreal.
Yep.
I bet it's one of those ones where like depending on when you listen, you hear something else in every single
Exactly.
song.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good answer. Good answer.
Isaac, what you got?
Return to Cookie Mountain, TV on the Radio.
Oh.
I am an immense fan. Yeah, that album like got me through a lot of tricky times, especially in school when like how do you go on?
Yeah.
I would just put
Yeah.
that on. It's
That's
so
a life
good.
raft
Yeah.
for sure. No
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. You have a cool keyboard and you're like,
Oh,
TV
yeah.
on the radio naturally.
Yeah. They have great keyboards.
What about you?
For me, it's rough. It's a toss up between Moving Pictures or From Mars to Sirius by Gojira, because that album has just
Man.
climbed my favorites list for. It's just
Yeah, that's a good or two.
it's so
Go
good.
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
They're like
Gojira.
up there.
I'm gonna take Gojira.
Yeah.
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 I saw them live. They opened for Metallica. You were there for that
I
too.
was there for that.
Yeah, you were completely blown away by them.
Yup.
Like,
That's it. They opened for Metallica?
yeah,
yeah.
when they
That's
played DC
upstaging
Plays.
the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it was funny because it was Gojira and then it was Avenged Sevenfold and then it was Metallica, and it's
my
like I would have
gosh.
switched those two around.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It was good though. I could not handle what I was watching. Holy smokes.
They're insanely good.
Yep.
They're just I could never. Oh,
What a show. Oh my
Okay.
god. And then would you guys like cite those albums and bands as like among your influences perhaps?
Probably. Well,
well, you
Yes.
you
I would say so, yeah.
yeah, you definitely, Elaine. You grew up listening to Rush.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm all over the map. So like I was a child drummer and started really super young, and my instructor was adamant that I learned everything about Rush, everything about
naturally.
Neil Peart, everything about the Professor, everything about that whole band and all those different styles that go into it. But yeah, I don't know what it is with me. I just can't seem to stick to one thing. I'm all over the map depending on my mood. I've gone anywhere from classic rock to maybe a little bit of pop to now I'm into like heavy metal because of this kid.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know,
Hard to
and
avoid.
I had a folk era for a while as well, which is not fun as a drummer, but as a singer it's great.
Oh, for sure.
Or
Yeah.
other stuff. But
Most
yeah,
definitely.
maybe I think I kind of turn to John now to just kind of turn off everything else. Truthfully, I don't know that it influences any of my playing per se, like as a drummer, because I look to people like John Bonham, and I look to people like Neil Peart, and so probably not. But it is a nice little escape from everything else that I do listen to and take the influence from.
For sure.
Yeah.
For me, I would say probably not, because I'm more than well aware that Gojira is so outside of my scope of ability that I'm like,
For now.
for
now, yeah.
maybe in
20 years
I'll come back and I'll finally be able to play Ocean Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a big one for me, the stuff that got me started music was Uncle Acid. Actually, they put out this album in 2013 that was completely DIY, and they got free instruments and free recording gear from just people they knew and from like junkyards and stuff, and they put this album together, and then they made 30 CDs and they sold those, and then they used the money to do the next album. And I was just like, that is so cool. And it's like a Black Sabbath-y influence thing. It's so good. And I just remember listening to that and reading the story and going like, all right, maybe I could like figure that out. And debatably, I have.
I would say not debatably. I don't know. That's so rad. How cool. That makes total sense, the DIY thing, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna find a DAW and I'm gonna get my
Yeah.
plugins. Just like, that's so cool.
It's also
I love
really
that.
expensive to do it properly, so
Yeah,
there's that.
there's a lot. That's the barrier to entry to the music industry. Is like, oh, I have to. That's a big initial investment for a new thing. But like, hey,
Yeah.
let's work it out. I'd say.
So far, so good, yeah.
Right arm. And why not get into the third one?
Sure,
If
let's do
that
it.
suits your mood.
So this next one is also off of the new one, but we already have this one out as a single on all major platforms. You can go listen to it right now. It's called Contact. Oh, we made contact in the shadow of the devil's tower. My regrets were simply more than I could bear. So take the heading and make way toward the final hour, where you said that maybe I will see you there. There's no denying it's a mystery where we came from, a stolen whisper from the edges of a storm. Sometimes I wish that this existence was a simple one, but it will never quell the fear of something more. Though I had tell since I was little of the Holy Father, since I set out on my own, the voyage has shown no signs of a soul. And when I gaze at the oblivion of open water, it is a terrible maw, a terminal draw to swallow me whole. So when I find in my periphery a spectral one, another vessel in the spiral of the sea, I know that prison in the palace of a demagogue is ever better than the curse of being free.
Wow, that is the Evan Williams project live at Evo. Oh my god, that was so cool. And I'm like fangirling a little bit. I'm like, oh, I heard this all on Spotify all this week, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I was like genuinely so stoked. Let's do a little bit of this or that, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Got
All the way.
consensus.
That's close, but coffee.
Always
Yeah.
coffee.
Not even close.
No, not even close over here.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Cats.
It's hard.
Ooh.
That's hard. I think dogs, but it's really
It's close.
Yeah, I have a couple like wonderful cats, and they've changed my mind about cats.
If it's fluffy and it's willing to cuddle,
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
care what
I
it is.
accept.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be a ferret.
I accept this.
That's a salient point, exactly.
Dogs are just more likely to be.
Yeah, generally
That's true.
speaking, dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
In terms of controversial foods, pineapple pizza or candy corn?
Candy corn.
Pineapple pizza, 100%.
Yeah, pizza.
Pizza.
I mean, pizza is one of those things that, like, even if it's not perfect, it's still good.
It's all right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be stoked out of my mind about
Yeah.
pizza.
Yep.
Writing in pen or writing in pencil?
Pen.
Pencil.
Oh,
Really?
I have crap handwriting. Like I need to erase stuff.
I do too. I just own it. Yeah,
I can't own it.
I commit to my mistakes, damn it.
They have erasable pens, you know.
They do.
Black magic.
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it.
It's the work of the devil. Isn't it? Man is not meant to erase ink.
Do a couple of those.
Yeah.
And snowball fight or water balloon fight?
Snowballs, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had
Water
enough
balloon, I think.
I don't think I've had enough experience with either.
I envy you.
I was a very sheltered child.
Were you both?
I think like I've sustained like. No, it's tough. It's tough. It depends because you can put ice in a snowball. You can put rocks from the playground in a snowball and like really
Yeah.
hurt someone. But also, if a water balloon hits you fast enough at the right enough temperature, like that's a
Oh,
welt
yeah.
machine for
Yeah.
sure. So who knows?
Yeah.
I guess grew up really violent in Alberta, throwing projectiles at my friends and I. Now. You guys are like, I mean, you're assembling and working hard on a bunch of stuff, and you mentioned that you have a tune coming out, never before heard before, but gonna be on the platforms. Do you wanna talk about that?
Yeah, so I mean, we that was the one we just played 2 songs ago, and yeah, it's this whole album. It's revealing itself to be part of a trilogy. To me, and I say revealing itself, it sounds super pretentious, but honestly, that's just how it works. Like I really just sort of ruminate on things, and then things just pop up in my head. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And actually, the last lyric of that song I just finished writing today. I like texted these guys
No way.
2 hours ago with the updated lyric. I'm like, I got it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Figured it
lyric.
out. It ties into the themes and it rhymes. Oh yeah. So yeah, but this whole album cycle, I guess it is now. The first one, which is 2430, it's about discovering your self-worth as a human being and whether or not it exists, right? Like the idea of maybe you're just zero, maybe you're nothing. And then the second one, Metamortality, was all about rebirthing yourself mentally and spiritually and going into your past and discovering what it is that's holding you back and just moving forward from that. And now this next one is more about rebirth physically. So I love albums that have through lines. Like I think the format is just, it's like a poem, right? Like you can just listen to one line out of context and it's like, it's okay, it's nice. But when you read the whole thing in context, that's when it makes more sense. And so the through line of this album is, it's very dark. And I've kind of likened it to a poison apple, where I'm going to make it look really nice and sound really nice. But the undercurrent of it is going to be dealing with some really dark, heavy personal themes. And I say physical rebirth, right? Like that implies a certain thematic element, and that's what it's going to be dealing with. Like the coming to terms with the weight of everything in the world and how to actually carry all of that at once. And maybe you're not able to carry all of that, right? So that's kind of what it is about. I've been working on it for the last year and a bit. But it's actually been really depressing for me to work on.
Yeah.
And so I for a while there, I actually have almost all of the instrumentals done, and I just have to sit down and do the vocals and stuff. And I'm just sitting there going like, this this is rough. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, I don't want to, it's Christmas time. I don't want to go there right now. I'll go there later when I
I'll
have.
ruin a different month.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick up again in the spring.
Yeah,
When it's
you know, when
raining.
it's nice and sunny out, and it's like I can sing
Or
about,
sunny,
I can
yeah.
sing about, you know, like, and then go outside and like go look at some rabbits and things.
Or
Cheer
something.
myself up. Yeah.
That's very clever, and no, that's totally going. Yeah, that kind of intro / extrospection can be tough on the noggin for sure. Absolutely, no
Well-
one. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for you though. That's like I think it's a very necessary service, especially we're all. I mean, now it's normal, but like we're all cooped up anyway. Happy contortion was like normal, but I don't know, we're all cooped up anyway, and like it or not, exploring these themes, and it's very cool that there's some tunes that help us do it. I think that's very rad, and it speaks to what might feel like an isolating experience, but a universal experience that everyone else is
Well, thank you.
going through in some degree, of course.
I needed to hear that because actually I remember like well here's one thing, like one or 2 months into 2020 there was this post that was going around that someone made that was like don't make sad art right now. We don't need sad art. And I'm sitting there going like I wanna.
But I want to make a sad art.
I want to make
sad.
it. Yeah. This is like it's helping me. Like
Yeah.
There
you know,
you go.
like why are you telling me I gotta be cheerful when I'm making music? Like, go off.
Toxic positivity.
Yeah. So
No.
None of that.
so
No, totally.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and especially when you wrap it up in like a very interesting sonic bow, I think it's pretty effing rad.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. And speaking of effing rad songs by Evan Williams Project, would you like to play us out with your last one you brought for us?
No. Yes, I will.
No, actually. Thank
Holding
you.
hostage.
Yeah. So this last one, I haven't decided if it's gonna go on the new one or not yet.
Oh.
It's actually a song that I wrote way back in 2015. So
I get to just enjoy this one with
yeah,
you.
you get to chill.
Oh, perfect.
So this one is called Elegy. Can you smell the ashes hanging in the air? Do you remember the world on fire? I still see flashes of the color of your hair in the dying embers of a world on fire. waiting there. Will you remember the world on fire? When our world was on fire.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. This has been another installment of Live at Evo. It's been a pleasure having the Evan Williams Project join me in the studio. Guys, thank you so much.
The pleasure is
thank
ours.
you.
Thank
Having
you.
us.
Oh, God, no, pleasure was mine. And I am Jerry Mayer Judson. This was Live at Evo, and I'll talk to you later.